Dash series, because there's just some more information that I found out about this woman. And I'm just like, this is a beautiful case study for anyone that is trying to start YouTube. And just in general, like, if you just want like a good word and from a positive spirit, a ray of sunshine, she's a beautiful person to go to. But I had no idea she was also talking about her fitness journey. So you guys know over here on the Ciana Singh Embody Pursuit channel, okay, we are the Embody Pursuit tribe. We are just a group of people that are uplifting each other when it comes to health, fitness, mindfulness, and beauty, right? And then we definitely do tap in with multiple, topics, an array of topics, all the way from God to food to all that, right? So Dash, okay, and this is going to be very, very powerful for you, okay? This is going to unlock some things for you, because I'm using her channel as a case study as to how you can make money from YouTube being yourself, okay? So she's done it by, now she's monetized, now she's making money from ads. I've made money on YouTube, and I barely am at 4,000 subscribers. I don't have AdSense on my videos yet. I'm making funds with a very small and mighty tribe of less than 4,000 subscribers, and I'm able to make full-time level income still being on YouTube. Okay, so there's so many different angles and so many different options depending on where you're at in your journey. All right, so I'll touch on how I make funds from social media without having a big following in a second. So Dash, she lost 100 pounds. So this is my check-in, by the way. My check-in for today, because if you don't know me already, we are doing a hard brute force of the next however many days left to the year. We are checking in and going hard with our health, our fitness, our mindfulness. So we're checking on what we're eating for the day. We're checking in on making small refinements, okay, small habit changes, okay, small delayed moments of gratification in order to reap a bigger benefit in the future. Okay, so that's what we're doing we're doing it as a team. We're going to talk about it. We're just going to just check in with each other. Okay, so just consider me like your internet cousin, your internet big sister, your internet auntie, whatever you want to think of it as. So, okay, Dash, and I'm using her as a case study, she lost 100 pounds by doing DoorDash. So not only was this woman propping up the camera, giving life advice, doing it every day with a smile and a positive attitude, okay, branding herself, and probably didn't even know it, or maybe she does. She's just, is so authentic. She just, I don't know, maybe she did know, but branding herself with her cute Christmas lights around her neck and her Christmas hat, okay? And she's teaching people how she lost 100 pounds. She literally shows pictures of her 270 pounds. 270 pounds. And so she lost the weight. And you guys know, over here, I'm constantly talking about how I lost 30 pounds. And I'm thinking I did something, mighty. 100 pounds. Okay? So a lot of the ways that she lost weight is the same exact stuff that I talk about. So it really is kind of just a simple formula. You just have to implement it. So this woman lost 100 pounds by counting her steps. So she just got a calorie counter, and I have one as well. Okay. I'm always advocating for these. There's really cheap ones. There is a $200 Oura ring you can get, but there's cheap ones that work just as good. And especially if you just need it for tracking your steps and maybe tracking your sleep and calling it a day. It's just a nice thing that kind of holds you accountable. So that's what she did. She was tracking her steps while doing DoorDash. Okay. This is what I think is so powerful, because this is what we talk about with not being so quick to just jumping into eating something that we know we shouldn't really be eating, or we already had pasta last night and it's we're going to try to have pasta again for at lunch. If you're trying to lose weight, it's just not going to work. Okay. It's just not going to work. So, and I mean, there's some anomalies, people that can eat pasta and it literally burns through them like it's fuel, like engine fuel for a 757 Boeing airplane, but most of us are not built like that, okay? So she was like, she's like, it's interesting because I am doing DoorDash. So she's introduced, right? She's always being exposed to all this amazing food. She's like, I've discovered some of the most amazing restaurants because people are ordering DoorDash and most of the time it's food. And so she's like, I literally am having to build up my strength to say no, you know, like getting like a little free meal. Maybe they put a little extra something in there that's not in the order and they're like, okay, you could just have it, you know, extra bread, cookies, donuts, all that, like the most amazing pastries, all that. And she's literally learning how to say no as she's trying to lose this 100 pounds while she's doing DoorDash. And that's the same thing I'm always talking about. Like, you have to get to a point where you're so fed up with where you're at with your health that you're willing, like it's like you have more willpower to say no to things that don't serve you than you do to just fall into the craving. It's like, am I going to really let this craving run my life or take over my life? Right? And not even vanity and beauty is the last part of it. It's like just for your health. Like, most human beings are sedentary more than ever. Most of us are eating sugary stuff, starches, all that processed stuff. So it's like, you got to meet yourself somewhere and learn how to say no somewhere, right? Somewhere. At some point, you got to just be like, okay, I'm going to have to just start to reel it in. Like, I got to just do that. That's what I felt when I gained 30 pounds. Like, within less than a year, I gained 30 pounds. I was like, wait, whoa, what is going on? And I just was fed up. I was like, okay, if I'm already gaining 30 pounds in 1 year, like, what's going to happen every single year after that? What's going to happen? Because I'm already not going down a good path with my health, you know, and I talk about my journey and why that, you know, why I did gain the weight and all that stuff. It was like just due to really high stress and then being more sedentary and driving for long distance, whatever. But I have an entire playlist. Like, if you want to listen to my journey on that, it's how to lose fat. I have a whole playlist that literally is how to lose fat. So just go to that playlist and watch all the videos and you will get a deep dive into how I did it and what I did to, I lost that weight 8 years ago at this point. Actually, more closer to 9 or 9 years ago, and I've never gained it back. Okay, I've never gained it back. And you guys don't have to worry. I'm barely looking at the camera. So it's just like if I were to have somebody next to me in the passenger seat and I'm just live, but I'm not like clicking around or texting around with you guys or responding and like trying to read the chat, like doing this. So, you know, don't worry about it. I appreciate the safety call out, but it's totally fine. So I appreciate you. So that's one thing I wanted to highlight about DoorDash. Okay, so if you don't know who she is, go to her page. And people are like, is she a celebrity? Like, who is this woman that Ciana keeps talking about? She is a everyday woman just like the rest of us that has cracked the code to YouTube. And there's just so many gems and nuggets in her journey that I'm considering her YouTube channel as a case study. Okay, because I'm always encouraging people to start a YouTube channel, and her YouTube channel is, I just feel like it's like a perfect blueprint for anyone that wants to just kind of gain the confidence to starting their YouTube channel. So she's a normal everyday person, and she just got monetized, I believe, a couple months ago. And she's like literally disclosing that she's making thousands of dollars. She's showing her bank account. She's super authentic. It's like her videos are barely edited. Some of them aren't edited at all. It's just like she propped up the camera and just pressed on. Okay. So another thing is, I just feel like it's such a unique way to lose weight. Like, she literally made sure to get a job where she was moving around instead of just getting a desk job. She's like, I need to lose this weight. I need to figure this out. So I'm going to take advantage. I'm not only going to be grinding it out with DoorDash and encouraging other people to do DoorDash because she was making full-time income doing DoorDash. And she actually I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna actually send DoorDash to a couple people that I know that are kind of in between jobs and just kind of trying to figure it out. I actually have an aunt that is doing DoorDash, and she's like in her late 60s. I think she's like even headed to like for 70, like she's almost like 70, I believe. And it's my aunt-in-law, and you know, and I'm like, it should really, like, someone headed for 70, like I kind of get like nervous for her safety. But like after hearing DoorDash talk about DoorDash, and the reason why it's like, I'm assuming she calls it DoorDash, like it's dough, like money, right? Like rolling in the dough. So she's literally losing weight, making money, giving life coaching, giving amazing advice about how to do customer service. Like her it's just, her page is a blueprint. So my main highlight of her today is this video popped up of her losing 100 pounds, and I was like, I had no idea she was also talking about losing weight, which is what I'm aligned with, right? Like with just like being healthy and staying active and all that. So she also lost the weight by eating high protein. And you guys know I talk about that all the time with eating high protein. It's the most satiating thing you can eat. Okay, so ideally, if you guys have heard of the glucose goddess, she has done many studies. She has a book out about how you can lower your glucose levels by changing the order of which you eat. And they found that time and time again, if you eat the vegetables on your plate first and then eat your protein and then your fat and then your carbs, like the starches, whatever starches on your plate, your glucose levels drops significantly. It drops significantly. Okay, so that's just like a quick little tip. It's kind of, I believe she was saying, and the reason why I'm bringing up glucose goddess is it's going to tie into DoorDash. It's like all these people have all these nicknames from like just their social media. It's funny, but kind of reminds me of AOL, when everyone used to have like their AOL name. So okay, she talks about making sure to have high protein as well, glucose goddess. So when you eat your vegetables first, it coats the lining of your stomach, okay, in such a way that it does something where it helps you have better digestion. So it coats it with something, some kind of something that the human body needs to coat your intestines with to help things pass through and move through quicker. So that's what she did, or that's what she's, you know, highlighting and wanting everybody to know. So I don't even know if DoorDash knew she was doing this, but she was doing that. She was eating her high protein. She was having her vegetables. She was making sure to count her calories. She was making sure to drink tons of water, tons and tons of water. She talks about, which I'm constantly talking about. That's also in my ebook that I have on how I lost 30 pounds and never gained it back. I talk about the importance of water and what it's done for me. And so, and might I add, she actually said her age she actually said her age, and I was shocked. This woman, I literally said in one of my videos, I was like, I think that she's like in her like maybe 29, early 30s, like 30, 31, 32, like somewhere in that range. And then in one of her videos, she's like, I'm 40, 42 or something. And I was like, what? So, I mean, this woman is such an example of what I preach on my channel. Like, literally, there is so much, there's so many benefits to health and fitness that we don't even think of. And she's a perfect example of it. I literally thought this woman was like almost 15 years younger than what she said. So her spirit, all of that. So, also too, if you are interested on how I lost 30 pounds and never gained it back, I do have an ebook down below in the description. So, definitely tap in and check that. So another way that she lost the weight, okay, was intermittent fasting. And I talk a lot about intermittent fasting on my page. Okay, so if you're resonating with this, if this is like clicking with you, go ahead and like the video, go ahead and subscribe. because this is, I think there's like a whole wave of people that just want real, genuine connection with real people that are really doing the work, and not like, there is a place for like obviously really huge influencers and really, you know, huge celebrity trainers and with all this amazing information. But personally, I love watching people that are just literally in the grind, like they're in the weeds, like they're doing the work, they're doing trial and error. And so I talk a lot about that on my channel. Like essentially we're all scientists in a way, and we're experimenting with what's going to work best for our body and what resonates and does well with our own systems. We all have different digestive systems, we all have different bio-individuality, so that's going to come with just different trial and error. Like someone can do keto and it works excellently. Somebody else can do I don't know, carnivore, and it's horrible. But for someone else, it's like God's gift to them. So you just have to experiment. And I'm always talking about doing things for, at minimum, before you even think about judging it, if it worked or not, doing it for a season. And the season, I'm going along with the seasons, like winter, summer, spring, okay? Winter, summer, you know, all the 90 days. 90 days. Corporations do it. They go by quarters, which are 90 days. So 90 days of doing something consistent. So this woman did it for like, I don't know, I think for over a year or two. She was just consistent. And she said, I believe, if I remember correctly, she said that she lost like 3 pounds the first week. And then I think it jumped to like 6 pounds in a couple weeks. And then I think in a month she had lost like 15 pounds total. And to be honest, that's actually not going to be the same weight loss journey for everybody. Not everybody should be losing that much weight. Like I wouldn't be able to lose 15 pounds in a month. Like I weigh 139 pounds right now and I'm 5'7". That wouldn't work. Like that, I don't even need to lose 15 pounds. I would actually I would still be within my range actually for my height, but I would be way on the smaller side. And losing 15 pounds would be very unhealthy for me at the stage that I'm at. But when you're 270 pounds, and I'm assuming she didn't say what her height was, but if I were to guess, she's like maybe 5'5", 5'6", maybe 5'4", like somewhere in there. So 270 pounds, it's like you got to scale it back just for your health, just for your life. So intermittent fasting, that's what she did. And I mean, it is like the best built-in system that our body has that I feel like is just so underrated. And yes, there is an unhealthy way you can do intermittent fasting. There is protocols and things that you want to do and make sure you are being smart with when it comes to doing intermittent fasting. So if you are really severely undernourished, like with your vitamin and mineral intake, you're going to want to make sure to get that up and going and get your nutrition together before you even think about doing intermittent fasting. People will be eating cheeseburgers and all kinds of stuff, and then all of a sudden like be like, I need to lose the weight because I gained a bunch of weight from eating all this fast food all the time, and then they just do it too quickly, and then they end up really depleting themselves and then feeling crazy, feeling super lethargic and like getting migraines and all that kind of stuff, because your body isn't trained. It's not trained to, you know, do the intermittent fasting. So you gotta make sure that you are a good candidate for doing intermittent fasting. Now, everybody is fasting. When you sleep, you're technically fasting. So everybody is already fasting. But when you're wanting to widen your window of when you're doing the fasting, meaning adding additional hours on to your already 8 hours from when you're sleeping, then you just need to make sure to you know, get with your doctor, get with a healthcare professional, and make sure you're doing it correctly. Okay. Because you don't want to just jump into something and you don't have any expertise on it, right? You don't have any knowledge about what you're doing, and especially if you've never done it before. So that's just one thing I want to throw out there. Like, she did definitely talk about it, but it sounds like she, based on just the maturity of this woman, It sounds like she knew what she was doing with using intermittent fasting as a tool, but there's so many scientific studies about how powerful intermittent fasting is. It heals up your skin, right? You're cleaning up dead cells that are just like not doing anything for you in your body. You're really setting yourself up for success when you're doing it. Like, not only are you just losing the weight, but your body has time to replenish and restore other areas that need help in your body, because it has more, it's not pushing its energy to digestion. It's like, okay, well, there's not really much to digest. The organs can kind of rest. Okay, let me try to clean up some other stuff. Let me clean up some debris, okay, in the body. So let me, you know, get this bad bacteria out of this body, right? So, you know, there's lots of powerful things that intermittent fasting does that you want to take advantage of, right? So I just think it's such a beautiful thing, and I'll be able to, I may have some time to answer some questions when I park here in a little bit, but we'll see. So yeah, so that's my check-in. So if you are vibing with this information over here on this channel, I'm attempting to go live every day just to do a health check, a fitness check for the day. So I usually am talking to you guys while I'm on my way to the gym, but today I'm not gonna, I've gone to the gym like 4 days in a row, so I'm actually not gonna go to the gym today, but I'll be doing, making sure to get my 10,000 steps in today. So it's more of an active rest day for me. And it is important to get in a rest day for yourself, so you're not overdoing it, you're not wearing and tearing down your body, and your body does need time to heal and rest and restore. So you want to make sure to do that, okay? So that's what I'm going to be doing today. And then of course I'm going to be eating really light. And because my personal goals are, and let me know what your guys' goals are in the comments, if you're watching this on the replay or if you're watching it right now. Just making sure I'm like, my directions are getting me in the right direction. So what I'm going to be doing is, I want to lose fat and then keep my muscle and arguably try to gain muscle, but I'll be okay if I just keep the muscle that I have. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of more focused on like a body recomposition. All right. So let me know what you guys are doing. But if you just want someone to check in with, that's what I'm going to be doing every single day, is trying to check in with you guys. And sometimes it might be when I am driving. And just so you guys know, I did actually look this up. You are legally allowed to be on video, but you just can't, it's not illegal to be on video while you're driving, but you just can't really like be looking at it and like, you know, touching the screen and engaging with the screen and all that stuff. So I do want to let you guys know that. I live in California. It's not illegal in California. Okay. So I just want to throw that out there. There is a disclaimer there, like that I am being safe, and it's not an issue. All right. So I'm going to park here in a second. Not a second, but in a few minutes. So, and I've never really been to this area before, so I might need to take my time here, because I'm in an area where I just never have a reason to go to, but today I have a reason to go to this area. So I hope everyone is having also a beautiful day too today. By the way, start your day off with, I don't know, well, depending on where you're at in the world, because I've been having people from all over the planet, from Amsterdam, from Dublin, from just the most amazing countries and cities all over the planet. So depending on wherever you are, just press the reset button. It's never that serious. Whatever you may be going through, just give it to God, okay? Every day really truly is a new day to just hit the reset button, okay? So life, I know life is just really trying for a lot of people. Like, especially on my channel, I noticed that people will constantly feel comfortable to talk about their depression. And I just think it's very telling of the times that we're in, that people are, number one, I'm happy that people feel comfortable enough to talk about being depressed. But I do think that it's something that we need to consider, really putting at the forefront, asking, reaching out, asking a friend if they're okay. I'm at a red light, so I'm just kind of glancing. Asking if someone's okay, like just taking a sick day. Like if you have a sick day, I mean, depression, I mean, arguably is I think is warranted for a sick day. Go to the beach. The beach is very healing. There's so many amazing apps out there that can connect you with somebody that can help you, whether it's a therapist, a life coach, just someone to talk to that's a third party with no judgment. There's help out there. And depression, I've been there before. It's deep rest. Your body, it's like your mind, your will, and your emotions are just so overwhelmed that it needs a deep rest. Depressed, it needs a deep rest. It needs to literally press the reset button. Okay, so just allow yourself to go through what it needs, your body and your mind needs to go through, and you're not alone. And journaling is a powerful tool as well, just getting everything out, and no one ever has to see it. You can literally journal and write everything that you're going through out and go throw it in the trash, rip it up, throw it in the trash, burn it. Like, of course, be safe when you're doing that, right? But like, no one ever has to see it. You could write it all the way out in your notes section on your phone, and then after you've really read it, this is a really powerful one too. I've done this a couple times where I've actually spoke, just like actually talking out loud, not necessarily to somebody, but just talking and talking into the voice recorder on the phone and just kind of like saying my feelings. And you're really kind of like talking to God too. So just talking to God, but recording yourself, and then listen back to it. And you'd be surprised. Like, how sometimes you may be kind of having a down day, but then someone else is talking about their day that's like making them sad or whatever they're going through. And then you are like, well, no, like you all of a sudden want to encourage them. It's kind of like the same thing. It's like you hear yourself talking back and you're like, really, actually, that's not that big of a deal, or that's not that serious, or I need to let that go, or I need to release that, or I need to heal that, or, I'm going to actually do the work and get over that, right? So you'd be surprised. Like, there's a lot of little tips and tricks and tools that you can do, but there might be some days in the depression journey when you just kind of need to just be. Like, it's okay to just be wrapped up in a blanket and just meditate and just think and just kind of like, like let your body rest. And of course, don't hesitate. You'd be surprised. People want to know how you're doing. People want to know if you're okay. You'd be surprised at how many people are willing to be there for you. But life is just so busy and fast paced now that I don't think it's intentional. It might be with some folks, but I don't think it's intentional with everybody. Everyone just has so much going on, especially when you're in the 30s, headed to the 40s, the 50s, and there's kids involved and bills and, social media and career and, just a lot on your plate. You might have an elderly parent, that's like starting to have different issues, and, they're going into retirement. Like, there's just a lot that closes in on the 30-year-old person. So, be kind to yourself, right? But don't be hesitant to tell somebody what you're going through, because more than likely they're also going through it too. Okay? Or, they might be like, I'm so happy you told me, I'm going to get you the help, right? So just, I know I kind of went off on a, you guys know how my lives go. They just kind of flow into from one topic to the next. I'm trying to actually stall this out too, because I want to be able to read what you guys are saying before I get to this location. All right. But I might not be able to, so we'll see. So praying for everyone. If you are going through something, I just, that was just on my heart to talk about. also too, there's a lot of like homeless people in areas in Los Angeles County that there just were not homeless people in those areas. And I just feel really, really bad for people. People are really going through it. And you can tell that they're like freshly homeless. And I almost want to know, like, what brought you to this point? Like, was there really no other option, to just get like some shelter? I know some people it's just a choice, and I respect that. But some other people where they really fell on that hard of times, I'm just like, so yeah, I ended up I'll just say this. If you see a homeless person, especially during the holiday season, it's one of the highest times that people end up doing the S word to themselves, unaliving themselves because of depression. I just actually recently found this out a couple years ago, that it's like the highest time where people do that because it reminds them that they don't have family, or maybe they're financially like really going through it or whatever. So if you see someone that's homeless and they ask you for money, like I just want to encourage you to not judge. And if you do have the funds, just go ahead and give them a couple bucks. Like, what is it going to really do, right? Like, we spend money on ridiculously high Starbucks coffees, weird trinkets and weird clothes that we have the same 17 black shirts that we keep buying. Like, if you have a couple bucks to spare, then I want to encourage you to do that. And I know some people judge and we're like, well, they're going to buy, DRUGS with it. And it's like, well, we actually don't really know that. And yeah, maybe a good chunk of the time that could be the case, but not all the time. Not all the time. So I've actually had some people that I personally know that have fallen on hard times, and they literally were just trying to get back on their feet. They were like homeless for a couple months, and they were down that bad. And and it took one person just to believe in them and just to trust them. And they literally, I think, like went to a church that next day, and then was able to communicate with the right person and got them on a program to be able to get them into a shelter. And then they were able to get themselves back on their feet. But some people just fall down that bad mentally, where they just literally give up. They just throw in the towel. So we don't know what people are going through. We don't know. So I just want to encourage everyone to just give back to the homeless during holiday season. It's the least we can do. And it goes further than you think. And then if you don't have the funds, pray with them, send out a prayer. Give them a simple, God bless you. I know you're going to get out of this. I don't have the funds right now, but like if you're going through it too and you're literally living paycheck to paycheck, and someone comes up to you and they're like, this is just a suggestion, of course, do what you like, but someone comes up to you and they're like, hey, do you have any money? Instead of just being like, nope, like, get out of my face, like, nope, sir, I don't have the funds, ma'am, I don't have the funds right now, I'm not able to, but I really just want to bless you with a good word, and I just want to speak prosperity over your life, and you're going to get through this, and I want to just speak safety over your life while you're in this journey. Okay? You'd be surprised at how much powerful words like that, just some kind words like that, can literally massively transform someone's life, because they're like, wow, someone actually took the time to speak life over me. So I just want to, leave you guys with that, and I'll be able to I might have like 2 minutes here to be able to look at your guys' comments really quickly. If I can find parking pretty quickly. Is this a parking spot? I'll go this way. Parking's a little weird over here. Okay, so wow, there's a lot of comments. So I'm just gonna scroll through as fast as I can. So thank you guys for the compliments. I appreciate it. Also too, if you guys are resonating with my video, go ahead and like the video, go ahead and subscribe and stay tapped in with me. Let's see. About health, self-care, how to live healthy. Hello. Okay. Let's see. People always ask me if I'm married or have a husband. I'm trusting God for my husband. I'll put it like that. Let's see. All right, so I'm just going through. I'm not going to even comment on that. I'm just looking for the questions here. All right, let's see. I'm half black, half Indian, yes. All right. I wish Elon Musk was in the chat. I would love to meet him, actually. I would actually love to meet Elon Musk. It's 2 months. I think it's so interesting that people are so fascinated with my last name. I did not know that that was going to be a thing. I'm just reading your guys' comments. Gosh, it's so interesting how people just go on random strangers' lives and just say rude stuff. It's the weirdest thing to me. Let's see. Yeah, there's mainly just like, okay. Give to the poor in the ghettos. Yeah, I agree. Plenty of jobs. USA has plenty of jobs, like 1 million immigrants worth jobs. Say has plenty of jobs. Homeless people can work. I agree. There's I mean, we could do a whole live video just on that topic alone. I definitely agree. I definitely think that people, hi Patrick, how are you? I definitely think that there is a mental component that ends up happening to people as to why they like went that route or fell into that route. And we just have to have grace and just like be willing to like uplift them again, like, and not be so like, well, you could just get a job. And it's like, there's actually people that really struggle like with being able to keep a job and just keep their mental health together. So we got to get the mental health together first. And then that way they can be, a good employee. So, all right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and go, but I appreciate everybody that has contributed to the live with kindness and with love and just with maturity. So I really appreciate it. Go ahead and like the video. Go ahead and subscribe if you're wanting to be a part of a community and a tribe. It's called Embody Pursuit, about health, fitness, mindfulness, beauty, and then kind of everything in between that. And my page is really overall about wellness and self-development. So I just love talking about this stuff. And anything that you guys want to talk about in that realm. I learned stuff from you guys too. So definitely, comment down below, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.